first started getting into baseball when I was about 4 or 5 years old. For Christmas, my parents got me a golf club set because Tiger Woods was a hot topic at the time, and instead of hitting the balls on the ground like they were supposed to, I was actually tossing them up and hitting them in the air. What made me continue was the fact that when my parents took me out to play t-ball, I really enjoy the game, and it's a game that I don't want to necessarily leave behind so quickly. When I decided to start playing professionally, I'd say I was probably about 7 or so, when I really started to take baseball, I guess, seriously in a way, because at 7 years old, you're still pretty young.
The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball that's slapped the other way, back over the head of Gata, and that one's going to roll to the wall. Andujar hustling around third. He's being waved home. Mullins is going to try for 3. The throw is not in time. An RBI triple for Cedric Mullins. It's 1-0 Ironbirds.
I was 13 years old, and I was playing with a travel ball team called the Atlanta Monarchs. And at this point, I was with that team for 3 years, and the entire 3 years I hadn't hit a single home run. And we were in a Super NIT national tournament where teams from all across the country were coming to Florida down in Disney World to play and basically battle it out for a title. And it was our first pool play game, and the score, we were down 6-8, and sure enough, I came up there with 2 outs left in the game, and I hit a walk-off home run, my first home run within my first 3 years. So that was probably one of my most memorable baseball moments.
1-2. A little flare, that's going to drop in. And Walker will come in to score. Mullins will stretch it into 2, and the Orioles make this a 1-run game.
And, the journey that I had to take to get to where I am now was pretty tough. There are many obstacles that you have to face. One of my challenges at the time was the fact that I was a really small dude. So I had to work, twice as hard as a guy who was, naturally tall or big in size and stuff like that. Some other challenges that I faced probably be finding schools, a good school to get into in order, to get my name out there, in order to, be a potential draft pick. And, that was a very important piece of the puzzle. And, the schools that I picked, thankfully, were good choices.
Flared out to right center, and nice catch made out there in center.
Some advice that I would give to aspiring baseball players would probably be, to just stick to the grind and trust your gut. Because a lot of stuff that you're gonna have to go through, it might not be the easy path, but in the end, if you end up making it, it's definitely worth it. And you mature as a player and as a person.